problem 212, which is just like problem 211, and so I'll do 211 as an example. Should give you a pretty good example. I'm going to show you a couple other little things, you know, that are available that we want to look at that'll help you, not so much for this problem, but in future problems. So here we go. Problem 11 says Waukesha Manufacturing Inc. produced the following number of units in the last 16 days, and it gives you, you know, this information here. Well, in this case, it's not too big of a deal. I can enter that pretty easily. Okay. However, I can also go to the book website that I provided a link for on the front page of D2L, and come to, you know, so this is where that would take you, and then you come to the student edition, click on data files, chapter 2, and I'm doing exercise 211, and so I just click on that. It'll ask me if I want to open that, and I do. Okay. And there's the data, you know, in an Excel worksheet. Again, this one's not very long and whatnot, and so it's no big deal. Now, I can, if I want to, I can right-click down here, and I can say move or copy. And so I can take that whole tab, and I can move it then to my sample solutions, which is the name of my workbook. Yours might be chapter 2 assignment or something, right? And I can choose where I want to locate it before whichever sheet. Now, I've already got a sheet named that because this is what I did when I set this up. Okay, so I'm not going to go any further than this, but I could choose where I wanted it to, click OK, and it should do that. Okay, the other way, of course, would be just to take, you know, the data and highlight it, right click and do copy, and then paste it into the other workbooks. So either or. We're going to get far larger data files as we go through this, and so it's a good thing to learn so that you would know. Okay, a couple other things then. So I've done that, and again, it would be easy to count, or, you know, 2 through 17, so it's probably 16 observations, right? It would be easy to count that, but as we get bigger files, there's ways to do that, and it's time we learn, you know, that we've got this function key up here. Okay, and so let's do that. Let's click on that, and it brought up what I already had, and so I kind of want to, let me show it to you this way. I'll just pick another cell. Okay, so there we are, and this says most recently used, so that's taking to the ones, you know, that I would have, but I could either come to all, which is all of those things. We might be using statistical ones a lot. Okay, we will use a lot of those. Okay, and I can come here to where it says count. Okay, and then it tells me down here, it says counts the number of cells in a range that contain numbers. That one will work for me. You can see there's other counts there, and we might use different ones as we go along, but for this one's adequate. So I'll click OK. It asks me the range. Okay, and so I just click the left click and drag. Okay, it actually tells me what my answer is going to end up being. I click OK, and there it is. Okay, that's how I did that, and I'm just going to delete it for now. And then I also, and again, this is a small data file, but bigger ones, this would be very important. I want to know what my high number is and my low number, because I need that. You know, I'll need that to determine my interval, right? Okay, and so I can use that same deal, and it's stayed on statistical, and that's fine. And I want to figure out the biggest one, and the answer to that is max. It says returns the largest value in a set of values, ignores logical values in text. Perfect. So I click OK, and once again I do the highlight thing, and boom. Okay, it tells me what my answer is going to be. There it is. Okay, and guess what? I also want to know what the lowest value is, and so I can do the same thing. Statistical finds, alphabetical, so I'm going to go, in this case it's minimum. Most of these are fairly intuitive, you know, max, min, but you know, every now and then it's not. So smallest number, hit OK, hit my range, hit enter, and I get 25 for my smallest value. So okay. So how many classes am I going to have? And I didn't copy and paste this over, but what do I have? How many observations? I have 16. Okay. Ooh, is that what I have? count is 16 observations. Yep. Okay. And so I'm right at that one, so I should end up having 4 intervals. Is that right? I hope that's right. Okay. 5 intervals. Why is that one kind of confusing? Okay. I think the reason is that we always add up. We always add up. Okay. Or we always round up. And so 16, yeah, that's 2, 4, but we always take the next highest because we have to include everything, okay? And so this one's a little bit quirky, but that would be the answer to that. And I think we could look in the back of the book and say, okay, you know. So we always round up to the next if we're on an even number like that. So in this case, I'm going to have 5, okay? A little bit confusing there, sorry. Okay, what are my intervals going to be? Well, between my biggest and my smallest, between my biggest and my smallest is 6, right? Calculated by this. See if I can make this one work, minus this, yep. Okay, and I got 5 of them, so well, it's going to be 1.5 or 2, right? Okay, take your pick. My lowest, I got to be below that. We'll start maybe at 24. So then it asks me to do a frequency distribution, and yours may look a little bit different, right? You may go to 2, and you may go 23 to 25, up to, and that's what we should put in here, is that's up to, okay, maybe 25, up to 27, maybe 27, up to 29. Okay, so it could be a little bit different, okay, but it should be similar to this, okay. Then I have to figure how many of these, okay, how many of these are going to be in that interval there, okay. And this I gotta probably do the hard way. There I could do that count, and I could say count if equal to or greater than 24 and less than 25.51, say, okay, and that would give me the numbers. And in bigger data sets I might want to do that, but in this case I'm going to opt for the easy way, okay. So I got 2 of them there, 4 of them there, 8 of them there, 12 of them, or 2 of them there, 0 there, okay. So my total, which I have here, it equals the same total there, okay. And again, that's because it says I've got to organize the information into a frequency distribution and determine the relative frequency, okay. So here's the relative frequency is again equal to this divided by this one, and hit my F4 so that reference will stay consistent, okay. Then I can simply drag that down. And I did the 100. I changed these to percentages. How did I do that? You can come up here, right? Click percentage. Okay. There's also a quick one here, okay, that would allow you to do that. And then I did a total, okay, just to know that I hit 100%. And then it says comment on the shape of the distribution. Well, in our case, right, it looks like yeah, actually it would be a boom boom, right? So we're getting, you know, our typical in our case, right, following number produced, is that right? Yeah, that our typical production is 8, and then it kind of, you know, tails off, and that's why we call those tails in both directions, okay. Otherwise looks like we have some super days there where people really get active, you know. Those are probably Wednesdays or something. These are probably Tuesdays and Thursdays. You know, these are probably like the Fridays, or I don't know, I'm just making that up. So there you go.